Hey guys, Marcus searching for adventure and welcome to another episode. Pretty excited because we've finally got all the mods done to the Land Cruiser. So got the car back yesterday from TJM out at Nerang, and a big shout out to Luke. Thanks mate for getting everything done before our big trip to the Simpson desert. So because there was a bit of a wait on the draw systems in the back there, so Luke did pull a few strings to get it ready for me. So anyway, in this episode I'm going to go through and show you guys what I got done to the Land Cruiser, and in a bit more detail, and also too I might even add up the weights of all the different bits and pieces and get an idea of how much I'm weighing here. So anyway, let's get into it and let's have a closer look at all these mods here on the 200. Rightio guys, so we might just start right here at the front of the car and work our way around the back and then have a look where all the exciting stuff is in the back there. So just starting at the front, it is a TJM Outback steel bull bar. I'm not 100% sure how much these bull bars weigh. I think they're probably around 80 or so kilograms. And then down below I've got a 12,000 pound TJM winch, and this also comes with built-in, I think they're 8,000 pound recovery points. I'll just check that, but I'm pretty sure they're 8,000 pound built-in recovery points to the bull bar. Also with this bull bar, it does have the parking sensors, so you can see these here, and the LED lighting down below here, so it's pretty Mickey Mouse. So we've also got the spotlights just here. These are the Hardcore brand. I'm not 100% sure of the exact specs of these guys, but look, they look pretty awesome. They're 9-inch in size, so yeah, no, they're pretty cool. And then we've also got the aerial here, and this is for the GME XRS 80 channel UHF. So I've actually got the twin aerials. This is the smaller one, and I have got the larger one, which is the, I think it's the higher DBI. So just moving along, look, the Safari Snorkel was already on the car, as you guys know, when I bought the car. So that was already on there, and also the Rhino roof rack was already on the vehicle when I bought the car as well. The Clearview mirrors, which I did in that initial review of the Toyota, so they were on the car when I bought the car. And then you can just see just up here the Rhino rack batwing awning, and I actually took that off the Mazda BT50 before I sold it. I think it was the only thing I took off because I knew that I would want it on the on my new car. So that wasn't done with the guys at TJM. I put that on there. So just looking inside here guys, there's not a lot to show up here in the front, but I did go out and buy these seat covers from Repco, I think it was. They're just the R.M. Williams brand. I was going to get the Black Duck, but look, they are expensive, and yeah, the Black Duck, they are pretty expensive. They're about 450 bucks, good quality product. But this one here, these were about 250 bucks, and I just bought them online. They're airbag safe, and they're the canvas, so they're a fairly good product, I would think, and I just wanted to protect the seats for when we do that trip out west. So I also got some better car mats, and once again, I didn't spend a lot of money on the car mats. I just got these from Super Cheap Auto. Nice sort of sand grabber type of profile, which is what I'm really looking for when we head out in the desert. So I've got those. The only other real thing that I've got up here is I do have that dash mat, which I briefly explained there in the Toyota video. Got the GME XRS Connect just sitting in here, and there you can see it's just plugged in there, and I can unplug that there if I don't want it, if it's in the way, but it's actually out of the way. The only other thing of real interest up here is just the button. Oh, there's a bit of sunlight there. Just shut the door. Bit of interest there is just the switch that the boys from TJM have put there for my spotlights, which is pretty handy. There's my red arc brake controller for the caravan. Move into the back seat. Not too much happening back here either. On the rear side of these seat covers, it is pretty handy because it goes over the whole seat. There is a few little pockets and bits and pieces there for the kids, and yeah, look, as you can see here in the Land Cruiser 200, it's like a cinema lounge back here, plenty of space. One of the other things I had done for the kids in the back here, kids when you're travelling, as you know, they're always plugged into something. So I've got a couple of 12-volt sockets on each side here of the door, so they can then, plug in their phones or whatever when they're travelling. They don't have to use the one that's down here in the middle console, and that's running off the main battery. So these ones here are running off the auxiliary battery, which I'll show you real soon. Just on the wheels, I ended up going for the ROH Vapor rims, and then I got the Falcon Wild Peak all-terrain tyres. So I've had them on for a little while now, and you would have seen them in the last couple of episodes there. So yeah, the ROH Vapors, they look pretty awesome, so I'm pretty happy with those. And the Falcon Wild Peak all-terrains, I wanted to get something that wasn't going to be too noisy for around town, because let's face it, most of my travel is around town here at home. So this was probably a really good hybrid for what I was looking for, and it has made no difference in terms of sound from the standard Toyota tyres that were on the car when I bought it. I haven't noticed any difference whatsoever. Rightio guys, I'm about to swing the camera around to the back, and it's where all the exciting stuff is and what I've been waiting for. And when you are touring without a caravan overland, having a really good setup in the rear can really make the difference between things being easier and not as hard. So anyway, when I picked up the car yesterday from TJM, yeah, I was so happy with the final product. So let's have a look. Let's come around and have a look. So here we go. Right, so what we've got the RV storage drawers, and these are built in Melbourne, so Australian made. And this is actually what we were waiting on, and clearly they're busy because of the coronavirus and the massive demand. But basically, let's just start at the back there. We've got it's the RV Storage Solutions, and that is the cargo barrier that's been put in here. So that's a good safety feature, clearly. I did debate whether to get that or not, but I think ultimately I'm glad I did. So basically what I've got is just the one big drawer, and I also do have a smaller drawer which is underneath the fridge slide. And I thought this was a fantastic option, because this here just slides out. Now it's probably about 50 mil deep here, and it's good for a whole number of items. And then obviously on top of that, I've got the fridge slide. So this will fit a 40-litre fridge. I've got a 40-litre Ingle going in here, and that'll just slide out like that. And then you've got this fantastic shroud around the fridge, which gives you all of this real estate up on top here to utilise as well. I'll just open up this larger drawer. Really good sturdy hardware. It's lockable as well. Now the awesome thing about these drawers is that they do have a locking mechanism, which is located right here. And the great thing about that is I didn't have them in the BT50. They didn't have that mechanism, and if you were parked angling down, the drawers you'd have to hold the drawer open. So yeah, that's a pretty awesome feature to have that locked in, and just click that, and then that drawer will go back in. So this side panel here, I've got my outlet for the air compressor. So I actually have the air compressor, it is in just behind here. So I can just plug straight into that. and then below there's a 4-switch panel, and I've got air compressor, couple of light buttons and a spare one, and I can just access this pretty easily. This pulls out, and that's actually an ARB twin air compressor. I couldn't get hold of the TJM one, so anyway, I've gone with that one and thrown that in. So that's kind of nice to have all that built in. There is some storage in behind here, which I probably will utilise. That's probably about it there on that side. In terms of space across here, I probably should get a tape measure, but you know, there's probably 800 mil across here, and it's at least sort of 900 deep before you hit that cage. So there's quite a bit of area going on there. So let's talk electrics. So 12 volt system in the 200, and it's one of the most expensive parts of the build, so it does all add up, a good 12 volt system. And so I'll run you through you guys right now what I've got going on. So first it starts off with the 125 amp lithium Enerdrive battery, and that's tucked up in behind the fridge slide there. And then right next to the lithium battery is all the fuses and the flux capacitor sitting right down there. So that's all neat and tidy, all nice and behind the fridge, which is super cool. Yeah, so pretty happy. 125 amp hour Enerdrive there is going to give me plenty of juice when I need it. And also in the back there, just behind the seats, you've got the DC to DC charger. That's the Enerdrive, and then also the inverter. That's a 1000 watt inverter that's in there as well. And what the good thing is with having that stuff behind the seat is that if I want to use the inverter, I don't have to undo the seat. If I want to use the inverter, I don't have to undo the seat and turn the inverter on. I can use this switch here. So this is just a remote switch for the inverter. There we go, that just switched on. Now the inverter's on. Now you might ask, well, where do I plug into? That's pretty simple. I'm just going to run a little cable up and a little extension lead, and that's going to sit right there. And I'll just mount that right here on the side. So that's going to be pretty cool. Now the good thing with that is you can, yeah, as I said, switch it on and off. And as you can see, they do draw a bit of amps. So that's drawing, you can see here on the, that's the battery monitor that I've got. So this is the Enerdrive E Pro Plus battery monitor, the same one I put into the BT50. You see there, just with the inverter turned on, with running nothing, it is drawing about 1 amp. So that's why it's handy to turn it off. So we'll just have a look at that. It's drawing there about 1 amp, give or take. Now if I turn that off, boom, that's gone down, and it's basically drawing nothing. So that gives you an idea what a 1000 watt Enerdrive inverter will draw when there's nothing running on it whatsoever. So about 1 amp. So that's pretty handy to have that switch there and switch that off. On the side of the fridge here, you'll see a grey Anderson plug. So what I've had done there is that is hooked in through to the battery. So that Anderson plug there, I've had that put in there. So I've got the solar panel up on top, which is a 100 watt solar panel. But I wanted the option to use my solar blanket if I needed to, which is a 200 watt solar blanket if I'm parked up early camping. And yeah, I can't get, there's no sun on the car, but I can somewhere else if I'm under a tree. So that grey Anderson plug there, I can just plug that solar blanket into. What I've also had done for my Ingle 40 litre fridge, I've had them just split the cable here and put on a grey Anderson plug. So I've still got the 12 volt Siggy style socket, but also a grey Anderson, and that'll go on the back of the fridge. Just in the back here is where the guys have mounted the grey Anderson plug for my fridge. So it's tucked away nicely in there. And I've also got, a little bit hard here, I've also got another 12 volt outlet there as well, so I can use that for whatever. And then we've got these work lights here, these light force lights operated by that switch there. Turn them on and off. So if I turn, that turns these lights on, and then the bottom one will turn these lights on here. Rightio guys, the big question, how much did it all cost? Well, I can say it cost a small fortune, and you know, modifying a four-wheel drive and adding all these bits and pieces, it does add up pretty quickly. So about $17,000, bit over $17,000 is what I spent on this build, and that's not including the couple of things that were already on the car, which obviously were the Safari Snorkel, the roof rack, and also the batwing awning. That's not including those items, and I should add another $3,000 for the rims and the new tyres. So you're looking at about 20 grand, give or take, for the build. So it does add up pretty quick, and I probably could do it a lot cheaper if you were doing it yourself, or maybe sourcing some of the products and getting people come to you and do it for you at home. But for me, I just simply don't have the time between work and traveling. So for me, it's convenient to go to someone like TJM and have those guys just do everything for me. So that's what I've done the last 3 cars, and it just suits me fine. So you will pay a little bit more for that service, but for peace of mind, you know that you're going to get the job done right, and it's going to be done Mickey Mouse like what you've just seen here. It's pretty schmicko, and yeah, a big thanks to Luke at TJM out there at Nerang on the Gold Coast. He's always looked after me in terms of great communication and making sure that I get my car back when I need it, and I was a bit short on time, and he made sure that I got the car back on time before I head away to the Simpson Desert in about a week or so. So thanks Luke, appreciate it. But just a heads up, I don't have any affiliation with TJM. I've basically gone to those guys the last 4 times, I think it is, purely because they've been good on price. So I do get a couple of quotes every time I want to spend this sort of money. You know, spending 15, 20 grand on mods for your four-wheel drive is a lot of money. So no, I'm like everyone else, I get quotes, I'm looking for the best price, but TJM have consistently always been cheaper than their main competitor. So that's the reason why I go to TJM. I've got no affiliation with them whatsoever. I wish I did. But look, the boys out there at Nerang have helped me on three builds, and Luke's been a big help out there as well. So thanks to all the guys at TJM here and on the Gold Coast in Nerang. Looking at the weights, so I've done a bit of a rough calculation, and this is fairly rough and ready, bit of a guesstimate, but I reckon that I've added maybe 350, 400 kilos to the car. So I think there's probably about 80 kilos in the Bull Bar. I'm not 100% sure. The winch down below, again, I'm just guessing between maybe 30 and 50 kilos, maybe 40 kilos, I'm not sure. Just doing ballpark figures here. The draw system, around 50 kilos, including the fridge slide and the shroud. And I probably would allow around 25 kilos for the 12-volt system. I know the battery weighs around 15 kilos, which is super light compared to other battery types, so that's a positive. So you've got the DC to DC charger, you've got all the lights and switches and those sorts of things. So I'll allow around 25 kilos for the 12-volt system. The spotlights, these things here, probably weigh around 15 kilos together with the harnessing, give or take. Snorkel that was already on the car, I'm not really sure what that weighs, but there might be 5 or 7 kilos in that. The roof rack upstairs on the roof, I know the Rhino roof rack there weighs around 39 kilos. There's about 19 kilos for the batwing awning. So, and also too, just taking into account the GVM upgrade that was done on the car as well. So I'm sure that adds weight to the car with the heavier springs that goes into it. So, you know, once again, I'm making a bit of a guess here, that might be 30 or 50 kilos. So I don't know, I think that roughly I'm at around that sort of 400 kilo mark. The Toyota Land Cruiser 200 series have a tear weight or curb weight, they're similar figures, of around 2,700 kilos. And because I've got the GVM upgrade to 3,800 kilos, that's given me a payload of around 1,100 kilos. So if I have spent about 400 kilos, that's telling me I've probably got around 700 kilos left of payload. So look, I might be off, but I think that by and large I am going to be safe and legal there. Even if I was off by 100 kilos, I've still got 600 kilos left. But I think I am probably pretty close to that 400 kilo mark, and that leaves me around 700 kilos, which I do need. If towing the van there is 200 kilos of ball weight. You got fuel, passengers, recovery gear, the fridge itself, and other bibs and bobs in the car. So I think I'm going to be well under that 3800 GVM. Okay guys, that's a wrap here for the modifications on the 200. Certainly hope you enjoyed the episode, hope you got something out of it. Please feel free, hit us up with some comments if you've got any questions, or if any feedback. I'd love to hear feedback on the costings, the weights, or anything else. Throw them in the comments below and I'll certainly get back to you. Give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next episode on Searching for Adventure. See you guys. Okay guys, so let's get into it now. I was looking to design when I was looking to design the storage drawers here, this is so this is what they call, it's starting to rain. Bloody hell. So excited to see the drawer system and everything that I had put in, because it's just awesome that everything is so organized, and